American Cougar on YouTube. 587 subscribers, guys. I remember when I was all excited when we had 20 subscribers. I thought I was doing great. But thank you for coming to my celebration. I am really excited that I've been going on for a year here, being able to share my story with you for a year. Spend a little time with you, a couple times a month, telling you my story, letting myself out there, letting you know that I feel some of the same way that other people feel. They just don't talk about it. But I do. So I think that's a good thing. I am just so excited. I've just got everything all gone Hollywood here. Derek has really gone Hollywood. Don't you think, guys? Great job. Great job. Derek's done a great job here. He has gone Hollywood for me for this first live audience show. And I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your messages. I appreciate the followers on the Facebook page, all the viewers. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't still be doing this. And I appreciate Derek. And he's been with me through every moment here. And I want you to see his face. I want you to see Derek's face. This is Derek. I pick on him a lot, and I say things about him, and he puts up with me, and he's really good. But he is very creative, and he's one of the best producers around, and I am just very grateful that he's worked with me all this year. Well, I was going to have some music for you. I was going to have my very good friend, Harmony Dillingham. She's a local musical girl here. She was going to come and sing a couple songs for you, but she hurt her hand, so she can't play. So I decided that if she can't come and play a song, then I'm just going to have to tell you a story. So here we go. I know this is not near as good as Harmony would be, but I'll tell you a story. Long time ago when I was a girl, when I was a young girl growing up, and we had a pretty large family. There was my mom, my dad, me, 2 brothers and a sister. So there were 6 of us. My father was a minister. I've talked about that before. 62 years. Was very strict in our household. It was very hard for mom and dad to make ends meet. I mean, they took good care of us. We always ate, things like that. But we'd set the table, and everybody could pick which plate they wanted for dinner because none of the plates matched. So sometimes us kids would fight for, no, I want that one. No, I want the one with the wheat on it. You know, I want the yellow one. I want the blue one. Everybody could pick their own plate because none of them matched. And same thing with the silverware. Here's a fork, here's a spoon, there you go. So I didn't think too much of it until I started going to school. And I got about 3 or 4 years into school. And I was older, and I noticed things more, and I noticed things around me more. And people would invite us to their home. People that were from the church would invite us to their home, and I would go to other friends' homes and spend the night and things like that, and all of their silverware matched. And all of their plates matched. And I'm like, is your kitchen stuff supposed to match? I didn't know your kitchen stuff was supposed to match, you know. So I went home, and one time I said, Mom, how come when we go to everybody else's house, all their stuff matches, and our stuff doesn't match? Like everybody else's, if they got one blue plate, they all got a blue plate. If they got this kind of fork, they all got that kind of fork. Why don't we have everything that matches? And she said, don't worry about it. That's exactly what she said. Don't worry about it. So it wasn't until I was in about 5th grade that I realized that I was poor. I realized that we were poor. I didn't know that by having a plate that was a different color, everybody in the family, you know, I didn't know that meant that we couldn't afford to have a whole set. We couldn't afford to have a whole matching silverware. I didn't know. I just didn't know. When I got into about 4th or 5th grade, I learned that I was poor because there were other people who would not let me forget that I was poor. My mother made a lot of my clothes, and I had to wear certain types of clothes because my father was a minister, and I wore clothes that other people gave me. And, you know, we were poor. But I never knew. I never thought I was poor until I made it to the 5th grade, and people started letting me know I was poor. And so I thought I was poor for a long time. I thought I was poor for a long time. I knew I was never going to be a millionaire. I wanted to, I wanted a nice place, and I wanted things and things like that. You get out in the world and you see other things that people have, and you're young and you want to work and you want to have that. But I always knew I was never going to be a millionaire, and I haven't got the big check from Publishers Clearinghouse yet, guys. They said it was coming out in 2 days. It should have came out yesterday. They should have been on my door yesterday, but I haven't seen it yet. So I'm not rich, but I'm not poor. I'm not poor. I am so full of gratitude. I am so full of just living life and creating my life and making every day the best day that I can of the time that I have left, that I don't feel poor. I still don't feel poor, And that's the main thing. That's the main thing. You can be poor, but you don't have to feel poor. And that's my little story for this time. Now, we'll get down to it here. For this year's topic, for the celebration, the topic is, do nice guys finish last? How many people think nice guys finish last? Oh, I see one back there. I see one thinks nice guys finish last. It's a guy too, by the way. It's a guy too. Well, how many, okay, I'll ask a question of the ladies. How many ladies have the bad boy syndrome? Raise your hand. I do. Okay. There's a reason why nice guys finish last. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about women who, some guys, they say, well, I would have been wonderful to her. I would have treated her like a queen. I would have gave her everything. And she left me for that scumbag. Well, there's reasons for that. The way we're growing up, and I talked about the way that I was raised in a strict environment, and I ended up with the bad boy syndrome because I didn't know what else was going on in life. I didn't know what really was going on in life. I didn't have a lot of education about what to look for or what to do. And this is from a psychological standpoint. I do research. I did my research, and the psychologists say that this bad boy syndrome comes from a young lady who has lived a very structured life, a very strict life. She wants somebody who looks confident. She wants somebody that takes charge. She wants somebody that wants to go do things, take risks, live on the dangerous side, have fun. She wants somebody that when they say no, they're going to mean no, and she doesn't always take no for an answer, but that's why some of you guys become projects. I've had a couple projects in my life too. They didn't work out. I couldn't fix those projects, but I know better now. But those kind of guys, they become projects, and they just do what they want when they want, and it's just a whole feeling of that freedom, of being part of some kind of freedom. So nice girls like me, see that, and it looks pretty exciting, it looks pretty nice, and some of these guys look pretty hot, So you just take an extra look. And girls go after that. Usually they say people, when you're looking for a real serious relationship, you're going to look for somebody more like yourself. But in this case, if you grew up and you were lacking, say your parents, you never felt like you knew if they totally loved you or not. So you're going to look to try to make them love you. You're going to try to do everything you can to try to make them love you. Then you grow up, then you're an adult. Then what happens with these feelings that you had? You're still trying to change somebody to make them love you. You follow that pattern for your life to try to get somebody to make them love you. You really need self-esteem. It's a self-esteem issue. That's why I talk about creating your life and using your superpower. You can put yourself in better situations. I made a lot of mistakes because I had the bad boy syndrome, and I admit it. And there's certain things that we need to look for in quality people. We all need to be quality people. We got to look for quality, not quantity. We'll go on. We've talked about that already. But nice guys, I've found out too why psychologists say why nice guys finish last. So we're looking for somebody who takes risks. We're looking for somebody who's a lot of fun, likes to have fun. We're looking for somebody who exerts their freedom. They assert their freedom. We want to assert our freedom too. That's our problem. And we're looking for somebody that is going to fall in love with us, because that's what we're always looking for. It's for somebody that's going to fall in love with us. I mean, whether it's a bad boy or whether it's a good boy or whatever it is, you know, we're looking for acceptance and we're looking for love. The reason why nice guys finish last, if you agree with me or you don't, this is what I found from the psychology research that I've done, is they don't have that confidence. They don't know what they want. They don't say. If they do know, they don't say it. They don't let you know. So they look kind of wishy-washy because they're ready to go along with whatever you want to keep you happy, and whatever you want to do is fine with them, and they kind of, they're not themselves. They're afraid to let themselves be themselves. They want to be whatever somebody else expects them to be. Now, if somebody expects them to be the tough guy, if they think that their woman wants to be protected and somebody expects them to be the tough guy, the example that I can bring up is the Will Smith debacle. He had a wife that he wanted to impress. She had been known to be with tough guys, and she probably had the bad boy syndrome too. She looked like she had bad boy syndrome, I thought. She looked like it. Oh, well, I'm not supposed to judge, but anyway. She was married to Will Smith, Jada and Will, and they've had their problems on and off. Everybody has heard about it, I'm sure, on all the celebrity pages and E! News and all that. They had their problems on and off. And so in order to try to cement that relationship, they went through a lot of changes. And to try to cement that relationship, I think, I see it this way. When Chris Rock made the comment, of course, a lot of their jokes are written for them. They don't just come out and say things. They don't just come out and say, you know, hey, Baldy, whatever it is. All their jokes are on the monitor, and they're made up for them to say. So sometimes they have no choice. They have to say what they have to say to try to get a little laugh. And, of course, you know, the camera goes to the people that they're giving the little laugh about. And actually, these people are getting a little free publicity, and they could just laugh it off and, you know, have a little class and just sit there and laugh it off. But meanwhile, at first, Will Smith sits there and he's laughing. He's laughing about the whole "my wife is bald" joke. And he looks over at her and she's not so happy. So what do you think he needs to do to prove him that he's the man that protects his woman? Well, I really don't think he needs to walk up there and slap somebody in the face on a live show. I really don't think that was the best way to put it, but he feels that he needs to make her feel protected, so perhaps, and he needs to go up there and he needs to smack some guy in the face because he needs to be a tough guy, because maybe that's what she's expecting him to do. If it was me, I'd be just as happy if my man took him aside later on and said, hey, look, I really appreciate what you said about my wife, and, you know, I want to still be your friend, but don't, no matter what anybody says, don't say anything like that again. You know, I would have been happy with that, you know. I like a man that acts like a man. I like a man that can control himself as a grown man, not a child. So you don't have to go along with everything to get along with people, and sometimes the nice guys do. They go along with everything because they don't want to lose you. They have a fear of abandonment. So they're going to do whatever you want them to do so that you'll keep them around, you know, the nice guys. And the more that you like a bad guy, you know, a bad boy, the more everybody's gonna say, what do you hang around with him for? You know, he's this, he's that, he cheats, he does all this. And what do women do? What do they do? They stay. They stay. They stay with that project, you know? And the more that people say, that's not what you want, the more that's what they want. It's like, I watch Key and Peele, I love Key and Peele, and I love their theme song when it comes on, and it says, all I want is what I don't need. Well, all I want is what I don't need. You know? That's a lot of what we do in life. What we want something more. When we can't have it, we want it more. So that's part of the bad boy syndrome too. The thing is, be yourself. Be yourself. Just meet everybody one-on-one. You know, I've learned from my days, I've learned from my bad boy syndrome days. I've learned that I'm looking for quality, not quantity. You know, I'm looking for someone who is reliable, someone who is considerate, self-reliant. I don't have to be up their butt every day. They don't have to be up my butt every day. Positive. Somebody that is positive, that looks at your future, looks at their future, looked at your future together in a positive way. We can all accomplish wonderful, wonderful things. Just look at what we're accomplishing. Look where we are right now. 1 year of Real American Cougar. Ditch the hype and create your life. And here we are, creating our life. And this is what Derek and I have created. And I'm so happy about that. I'm so happy that you can come and join us with this celebration. I'm sorry we didn't have music for you. We do have food. Help yourself. Keep looking for that quality, not quantity. Keep creating your life every day. Yesterday's done. We don't have to worry about it. We don't know what tomorrow is. Well, all we got is today. So keep it up. Keeping going. Peace out. Thank you.